Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island All-Stars Season 1, Episode 16. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Also a reminder, I am away from home, so the videos they're just gonna come out when they come out, okay? The episode picks up with Toby, who chose to partner up with Georgia. Everybody is shook. I'm still shook, honey. But hey, Toby's gonna do what Toby wants to do. Josh decides to pick Sophie, and now Callum is stuck with Arabella. But I will say, even though it was an unfortunate situation, he did still give her a decent speech. She, however, well, she appreciated the speech. We'll start there. She's not coping well with Toby's decision.
It's a shit situation. Timing-wise killed it, isn't it? Like, I can't help it now.
Does he know how people work and emotions work? Yeah. Because evidently not.
It's always me, like I always am the one that gets hurt. If your feelings are genuine, you don't change your mind like that. You don't, go, oh, do you know what, suddenly, actually, I want to, like, you just don't. No, I feel awful.
No, it's not your fault, G.
It's not your fault, G.
Okay. I know the girls in the comments are gonna hate me because y'all always hate me when I side with the guys on situations like this. I'm so sorry, but I appreciate Toby standing on business. Sorry, I do. One thing I hate when people make these like polarizing decisions, statements, whatever, is when they hide with their tail between their legs. Nah, just stand in it. Yeah, I did it. No, I don't feel bad about what I did. I feel bad that somebody was hurt in the process of what I did, but I still stand by what I did. I rate it, guys, I do. I'm sorry, I do. Now let's actually talk about the offense. It was despicable. It was absolutely despicable. What'd you say, out of order? Yeah. Absolutely despicable, because you've known from the morning that you had feelings for Georgia and probably had an inkling that you wanted to reopen whatever was there. You could have let Arabella know. You could have let Callum know. You could have let Georgia know. You could have let somebody know.
Especially after seeing what the poor girl had to go through the first time. That's so embarrassing. Like,
I'm joking. No, it's true. Arabella has already been in a situation like this with another guy. Like, come on, spare the girl's feelings. And you do have a history with her. She says y'all had a friendship. It's more like a friends with benefits ship, but still, you had some kind of rapport. You're even tarnishing that relationship too. Like, Toby, come on. So he does admit that he shouldn't have done Arabella dirty like that, but he's still standing on business, and hey, it is what it is. I'm also not gonna lie to you. The girls crying at each other, so funny to me. I'm sorry. So funny. I'm just so sorry that he picked you. Girl, I didn't know he was gonna pick me. I just feel so bad. It was so funny to me. But yeah, no, I feel for Arabella. Don't really like her much, but I feel for her. This was actually so dirty. Toby then takes Callum aside because obviously he can't talk to either of the girls right now. And he's trying to explain the reason why he did what he did.
Me and George have like had history. It didn't really end. Like, it wasn't like stamped out, done.
I just don't know where it's come from. I actually have no idea.
And I had to like pick someone that I had connection with, innit? And that connection was with Georgia.
It's not just one big game where you can go from one person to another person without like communicating between them both.
Honestly, everybody using this whole we have history bullshit as a reason to do people dirty is a piss poor reason. Piss poor reason. Go and have your history. There's literally nothing we can do about that. But what you can do is be transparent. What you can do is be considerate of other people's feelings. So for Toby to say, it's because George and I have history, okay, you can still be honest with the people who are engaging with whoever it is that you have history with. Tell Arabella, tell Callum, deal with the backlash later. It literally is more effort to have to lie about all of this than just come out with the truth. But Toby wanted a TV moment, and child, he got exactly that. Exactly that. Callum talks to Georgia, who wants to front like she's not happy. But we all know she's happy to be back with Toby.
Oh, words for that behaviour, honestly, I've not.
Part of me feels responsible for that.
It's got nothing to do with you. It's got absolutely nothing to do with you. Don't worry about that. He seems to think you two aren't done.
I don't know how we're not. Never disrespect you like that. Like, I'm not that girl, Callum. I swear to you, like, I'm not that girl.
Honestly, you don't have to justify yourself.
You called her a fraud? This is what kills me about Georgia. I mean, this is what kills me about Callum. Georgia said I'm partly at fault. Callum says, no. This has nothing to do with you. Hold on. Callum. This is now the second time this girl has come to you basically saying something and you don't investigate. Because why is she saying I'm partly at fault and you're not asking, well, how are you at fault, Georgia? What makes you think that you had a part in this, Georgia? Instead, Callum is going to be a blind bat and just be like, no, Georgia, it had nothing to do with you. It's all Toby. Toby had to have some kind of inkling. To pick Georgia specifically, if he was random and picked Kaz, Sophie, whatever, I could see that being completely out of the blue. But because of this history that Georgia and Toby had, he had to have had an inkling that the door is still open there with her. But what's Callum gonna do? Turn a blind eye, act like Georgia is God's gift to humanity, and not question her at all. At all. She said she played a part. Inquire. Ask why. We move on to Toby, who now wants to talk to Arabella. Of course, Arabella has nothing to say, and I mean, nothing nice to say, and I don't blame her.
The intention is never to hurt you, innit?
To just make the blow a little bit easier, you would have had a conversation with me today.
Sorry.
I mean, sorry does not cut what you just put me through.
I see her as being like my girlfriend in a way. Well,
because Georgia gave you everything, and then that still wasn't good enough. I've given you everything, and it's still not good enough. So what the fuck do you want? I don't get it, Toby. So how long has this feeling like been there for? You can't just change overnight. So it's clearly been there the whole time.
well, I've said, my head has been back and forth since the start of...
Tobias is such a liar. Such a liar. The man said, I can see Georgia being my girlfriend on the outside. Did you not just have a whole altercation with another man saying that you couldn't see it on the outside with Georgia? And that if it would have worked on the outside, it would have been a thing? Which leads us to assume that it doesn't work on the outside. Tobias, come on, like, come on. I do appreciate that he stands on business, but he is a liar. A liar. Where's Davide? A liar. A little part of me is kind of frustrated with Arabella because same thing I said about Georgia, same thing I said about Liberty. These women will pursue guys who haven't shown themselves to be the best men to their own standards. Let me clarify. And then wonder why they get treated the same way that the men have already exhibited themselves to be. I wouldn't have expected nobility from Toby. I wouldn't have expected, like, you know, because she had said, Toby is the one person who I thought would never do me dirty. What made you think that?
She thought she was the baddest.
I don't know if y'all heard that, but she said she thought she was the baddest. Honestly, like, the women...
You put a trust in a stupid person.
The women do frustrate me this season. They do. They do. Because they don't require... Honestly, the only woman who I feel has truly required a man to step up to the plate has been Demi. And that's saying a lot. Because Demi looked at Mitch and she said, if you want me, these are the stipulations. And I'm not going to entertain you until you align with what I am looking for. And so what did Mitch have to do? He actually had to step up his game in order to have a chance with him. With her. Ooh. With Demi. Ladies, you're looking at Toby and you're wondering why this happened to you? I don't know. But still, Toby's in the wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's still in the wrong. He will forever be in the wrong. But yeah. We have some people who were excited to be together again. Anton and Georgia. They're trying to make this dead relationship resurrect. I don't know why. Like, Anton is such a beg. Georgia's such a beg. This is weird. Weird. Okay? Also excited, we have Casey. He's excited to be in a bed with Kaz. I mean, okay. Like, okay. Josh says he's now all in with Sophie. He's only all in because Joanna didn't pick him. But just Sophie don't know that. So yeah, Sophie's excited. Chris is excited to be partnered up with Joanna. I really don't see it for them, but it is what it is. Georgia is talking to Toby, and she her mask is slipping a little bit, because before she was acting like, oh my gosh, like how could Toby do this? But in this conversation with Toby, it's kind of giving, I'm kind of glad that you did it. You know, like a little just whisper on the side, like, thank you.
A minute.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a sec then. We were sorry for putting you just in a position like that, by the way. You've always been in my head, like, all the time. Like, since the start. Like, you know that as well.
Maybe I didn't know you, because I didn't see that comment, and I thought I did know you.
So there's still surprises there.
So the villa is starting to suspect that Toby is being strategic. They feel like because Georgia was in one of the top ranked couples, maybe he wants to infiltrate that and be at the top. Listen, Toby on his own season has already done this. He very well could be strategic, I don't know. But this is his MO. Again, I'm asking the women why they expect different from these men who we have already seen act the same way that they're acting with them. What is happening? I'm so confused. So anyways, Georgia is telling Toby, honestly, I kind of rate the fact that you went with your heart and you did what you wanted to do. Like, she's down with that. So in the bed, she goes and she gives Callum a little hug, but then she jumps into bed with Toby. And so the people in the villa are like, wait, hold on now. Because if it was me in this situation, I would either sleep somewhere else or I don't know, put up a pillow for her or something to show that I'm not entertaining this scheme, ploy, whatever it is that Toby's trying to do. Yeah, that's because Georgia wanted it to happen. She's not gonna tell y'all that, but Georgia wanted it to happen. So anyways, the next day they're doing morning debriefs. What do we have here? Toby only regrets hurting Arabella. He does not regret his decision. Arabella is still pissed that she was blindsided and questions Toby's intentions. Georgia says that she was also blindsided, but feels like she feels like now things are kind of ruined with Callum. They are. Are they? They are. Things are ruined with Callum. Let's be honest. Then we have Callum, who feels like Georgia couldn't have been serious about him if she is entertaining Toby's game. Thank you for joining the party, Callum. This has been the case for a long time now. Thank you. Sophie feels like she's so lucky to be with Josh, and Josh says that he has now overcome the test. Honestly, the choice was made for Josh. So to say he overcame the test, I don't know how accurate that is, but sure, honey, if that's what you believe, then that's what you believe. The girls get a text that they're going to have a day out for cocktails. As we can suspect, the main conversation is about Toby.
Obviously did not see that coming at all.
You and me both, Belle.
When he didn't have me, he chased me. As soon as he's got me, it's like he doesn't want me.
I feel like being upfront and just saying how it is, I do rate. I think it's very, very hard to shut something down like that when you've got deep history with someone that you care about.
Did you ever think that you might have feelings for Toby still?
Absolutely not.
But why now then?
Listen, I'm not saying that he's an evil person. I know sometimes when I speak negatively about people, people think that it's like a slandering thing. It's really not. But I'm sorry, I have not seen, besides how he interacts with Kaz and Liberty, I have not seen Toby do things that make you think he's such a noble, upstanding man in the way that Arabella is trying to portray him. So for her being blindsided, I totally understand that, but I'm sorry, this is his MO. We've seen him do this before. Like, girl, I'm not shocked by any means. Then you have Georgia, who's starting to tell the women, honestly, I'm not as upset as everybody else is, because I kind of support the fact that he, you know, stood his ground. And so the women are now looking at Georgia like, what y'all, Georgia, what's going on? Y'all are shocked? This is Georgia's MO too. If there's one thing Georgia's gonna do, is be wishy-washy. She's been that and is going to continue to do that. And as much as she won't say it, she does want to entertain Toby. She does. Back at the villa, the guys are trying to figure out if Toby is being malicious, if Toby got a green light from Georgia, like what exactly was the motivation in doing what he did?
Georgia's definitely given mixed signals.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair on Callum at all.
It just feels like it's not the first time we've seen it.
People say things and then their actions are contrary to what they're saying. Do you take everybody on their word?
No, but their actions are hurting other people.
He's upset that he's upset people. But I can see both sides of it.
You need to be wary of yourself, right?
Yeah, no, mate, I'm very aware. Like, I'm not stupid, you know what I mean?
It's interesting now how when the guys are retracing Georgia's steps, they see that this has kind of been a pattern with Georgia. Not that long ago, she was screwing over Callum for Tom, but like on the low, you know what I mean? And this is why I look at Callum and I wonder like why he brushes these things with Georgia under the rug, because he'll brush it under the rug and then trip over the same issue and wonder, oh my gosh, where is this coming from? You have seen the problematic behavior and you've chosen not to call it out. Don't now be surprised when the person acts how they've always acted, honestly. Toby says that he didn't get a green light from Georgia, but he always knew that the door is going to be open there with her. Honestly, it's the best thing to happen to Callum because Callum was falling for this girl. He said he was ready to close things off. Georgia was not going to be there. She just wasn't. And so to know that she is so easily persuaded by Toby is a good thing for Callum. It's better you know now than later. In the evening, Toby and Georgia are talking, and Georgia is now frustrated with the other women because they're basically questioning her intentions, and she doesn't like that.
You're not a nasty person, like you're not. Yeah. Like, I know what we have, Tobes, and I know it's like special and stuff. He was upset that I didn't cut it off straight away. Something's just happened to me that's literally thrown a grenade in my situation, and you're saying that I'm not dealing with it correctly. And I'm not his wife, Toby. Been called up for a week. And also by saying, like, I wanted to be closed off with you and stuff. I've known him for a week.
Yeah, no.
That didn't even come into my head to be closed off with him, no.
It's so interesting watching Georgia. Georgia forgets that she's on TV. And, like, this is great for us. Sucks for her, though, because you're going to be pulled up on this. If not a movie night, hopefully this PDA night thing, whatever that is. But, like, girl, we've seen how you acted. We've seen the things that you've said. Like, we heard it. You said it. And now she's even saying with Callum, I never even saw myself closing things off with him. I've only been with him for a week. It's just a week. Like, now she's completely downplaying the thing with Callum, when with Callum, she was like, I can see a future with you. My eyes are only on you. All this, like, girl, you are on television. The cameras are rolling. It's not decoration. It is not decoration. Let's wrap this up, honey, because I'm tired of these people. Anton and Georgia talk again about how they have a strong bond. They're really good on paper. Honestly, it's just embarrassing to watch these two. Anton, to me, climbs up in the rankings with every episode and then plummets to the bottom every time he entertains Georgia. I don't understand what kind of chokehold she has him in, but please release Anton. Please release this man, okay? Then we have the other Georgia who talks to Callum, and she's now getting very defensive because he is questioning her intentions with Toby as well.
I was with Molly for 3.5 years. She's getting to know other people. When it's cut off, for me, it's cut off. I'd say, listen, like, I appreciate you picking, I understand your reasoning, but I'm all for this person, and that's what I would have done. He's not considered my feelings. He's not considered anyone else's feelings. I feel like you're considering his feelings more than Arabella's.
I'm going to walk away from this conversation if you're just blaming me that I've not considered people's feelings.
No, I'm not saying that.
You're basically making me feel like the way I'm acting is not valid.
I'm not saying that.
And you're like referring to me as how making me feel unvalid for how I'm reacting, and that it's wrong.
Callum, you really need to pay attention. Pay attention to how defensive this girl got. Pay attention to how she wanted to flip the blame on you. She doesn't like being held accountable. She always wants to walk away when the conversation doesn't go her way. Like this is not somebody who you'd want to forge a relationship with at this point in your life. I would assume with Callum being older, he wants something a little bit more serious. I mean, he's coming out of a 3-year relationship with a woman that he was living with. I would assume he wants something serious. That's my assumption. Georgia's not that. She can never accept accountability. She can never just stand on her decisions. Like, girl, you literally told the man you will always have a place for him in your heart. Always. And now you're going to sit in front of Callum and say, like, I never even gave him any inkling that I was interested. You're a liar. You're a liar. This is why I can rate Toby, because Toby stands in his lies. And I can't rate you, because you try to gaslight people and look in their face and tell them that they're crazy when you're the delusional one. All right. So anyways, let's see where this PDA thing goes, honey. I hope that Georgia is exposed, because that'll be a great time. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.